Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and the patch notes have dropped for the latest balance patch that sees changes to standard, wild, battlegrounds. We went over the teaser. We're gonna go over exactly what the nerfs are for each of these cards, and this does roll out today. Should be around 10 a.m. Pacific, which is like 1 p.m. Eastern, which I think is like 6 or 7 p.m. CET. I'm not great with that time, but yeah, that should be live today. And we still have our giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles for the Great Dark Beyond. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed. I believe next Wednesday, I will add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. And as always, these patch notes will be linked down in the description below, where if you want to look at details, because like we don't go over BGs and stuff like that. We got the dev comment to start off here with: this round of changes is focusing on preparing for our next expansion, the Great Dark Beyond, launching on November 5th. Stop reminding me when Prince Renethal rotates back on the standard. I tweeted he needs to stay. I don't care. I'm biased. I don't care. He needs to stay. As we plan for the post-launch meta, our focus is primarily on adjusting harsh play patterns like fast board floods, powerful board wipes, huge life swings, and cards that get end-game cards out too quickly. Some of these are reversions to prior changes. Our balance philosophy remains that we'll try to make the best changes for the game in each specific patch window and not be afraid to revert changes when they don't work out or the circumstances are no longer right for them. Yes, they like to buff a lot of cards that are nerfed, though. It just happens all the time now. Finally, in Wild, we're changing Radiant Elemental to be consistent with Sorcerer's Apprentice. This effect is generally very powerful, even by Wild standards, and this change is being made with upcoming cards in mind. With this change, we're also unbanning Crimson Clergy to give him another shot to not get himself rebanned. So like, we'll keep an eye on it. We might gotta reban this guy too, but I think it's worth giving it a shot, because again, it was Radiant that appeared to be the giant enabler, but who knows? It's Wild, right? Anyways, yes, Yogg going to 10. Not a lot you can really do to nerf this card other than changing text or abilities. It goes to 10, a little bit slower to steal that starship or whatever's going to be going on, right? Really powerful card. I know fighting's too egregious for the most part. It's mostly, again, usually just really annoying in Druid because they can get him out so early. And again, well, Druid can get to him faster than anybody else, but I am happy to see the change. I think it'll help. I think he's still gonna be good. You can disenchant him and get full dust, but I feel like it's a card you're probably gonna want to keep in your collection going forward. Wand, though, oh boy, they did a lot more than I thought they were gonna do. So Wand for Marin, the manager, of course, and Togwoggle and the old Marin, goes from draw 3 cards, reduce their cost to 0, to reduce their costs by 3. So this is like Skull of Gul'dan. You're getting 9 minus 9 mana, which is still good. It's still something, but obviously not broken to the levels of making your 10 mana card 0 or, you know, your 100 mana card 0, which I'm sure this factors into, right? If they set it to be 1, you could hit that and it's still 0, right? So yeah, I think this is long overdue. I wouldn't be surprised if this is reverted when Marin rotates to Wild in like, I guess, a year and a bit. And so the old cards can also have this effect where it's not nearly as problematic, but in standard, it's too consistent of a scam and it needed a change, and I'm glad to see it happen. Is it too harsh? Probably, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, Marin's play rate, I expect to absolutely plummet after this change. The only fortunate thing about the card is it's a free card, so it's not like you had to go out of your way to craft it, but I believe the signature you should be able to get full dust refund on. So if you have the signature and you don't want to keep it, it's an awesome signature. I'm keeping mine. You should be able to get full dust on that. Puppetmaster Dorian, not capped. I would have loved to see it capped, but it's going to 5 mana. Basically, you can't Oaken Summons it anymore. Really big deal. Like, that's huge, especially for Wild, because you like have so many tutors for all your cards and slows, you know, the whole thing down by a turn in either format. So I feel like this, again, is more impactful in Wild as a nerf, but it's a good change in my opinion. It's just the mana cheat this card can create is super frustrating, and yet another diamond card from a mini set that has now been nerfed. It's pretty crazy how consistently that happens. Like Yogg has been nerfed twice, another diamond mini set legendary. Treasure Distributor, yeah, just going back to where it started, just buffs your pirates that are summoned. Still a really good card. If you're playing a pirate deck, you're still going to want to play this, but it doesn't automatically win the game on one like it can sometimes. In particular, a lot of impact on Wild, right? Playing this with your brigands, your patches, this is a big deal that you don't have this 1 mana 4 or 5/2 on turn 1. Instead, you have a 1/2, a 3/2, and a 2/1. Still really good, right? But it's not nearly, that's always been my problem. The card is good. It's a good card. So it's still think it'll be good. It's just not broken. So that's a good thing in my opinion. Party Fiend. I don't think you're playing this card anymore. This is pretty rough. Going from 2 to 1 mana, it does get a stat increase. But yeah, for 2 mana, you get the 2/1/1 Fell Beast, deal 3 damage, but that is a significant nerf to this card. But also with like the demon buffing synergies, like they got that 1 buff that can like cheat out another demon. Might be a good idea to preemptively nerf this one just for that, but this is more just for Pain Warlock being too good and hitting one of their better cards. And I think Pain Warlock, I don't know if this really changes a ton because it's still about those Molten Giants and all that stuff, but we'll see. There's a lot of new cards and strategies coming that might, you know, be better than that. Oh no, then we're dying even faster. We'll see what happens, but it is a significant nerf. I'm not going to pretend like Pain Warlock gets off scot-free here, but it's not as huge. I think I just feel like they'll play a different card instead. And also Rogue like to use this. This is one of the only Rogue cards they would play their tourist to get to Party Feed. Now they probably don't want to do that either anymore. So kind of a nerf to Rogue too, right? Crescendo goes to 3. I kind of would have liked to see it go to 4. I'm not gonna lie, but still, it's back to where it started. It's not free with Popgar, and I believe when it went from 3 to 2, Popgar didn't discount by 2. I could be wrong. Regardless, it's just, yeah, it's not as easy to mass heal with Popgar, get that insane damage in. I think it's still a valid strategy. I think the deck will still be fine. But yeah, a little less flexible, which again, I think is pretty good to do. Big Spell Mage, which I don't know if this will be enough. Man, that deck is out of control right now. But yeah, Tsunami never should have been buffed in the first place, and it's no longer buffed. It's back to 8 mana, summon 3 water elementals. The art is accurate again. We no longer have to, I don't have to get ratioed by play Hearthstone with the 4th elemental put on there. It's back to where it should have always been. And I think we'll still be relatively powerful. Still think Big Spell Mage will be a thing. And you just get 1 less water elemental every time, which is significant. That is a significant amount, especially when you're playing like 4 or 5 of them in a game, right? That adds up pretty quickly. So a good change, just I'm worried it might not be quite enough. Con Man in particular is a card I really wish another buff card would revert, but that has not happened yet. The Razzle Dazzler, again, a card I don't think should have been buffed in the first place. Going back to 7, still think it'll be good. It was good at 7. It was just everything else was insane at the same time. And I think it'll still be at least playable. I don't think it's going to be completely useless. But again, you definitely fully disenchant this one. If it ends up being good, you can just use that dust later, right? So yeah, pretty solid card, and well, broken at 6, and hopefully we'll just be good at 7. Injured Hauler gets really hurt. This is a significant nerf. Instead of the health, instead of the mana, its AoE effect is going down from 2 to 1. That's half the damage. That is very significant. It's gonna be a lot harder to clear boards with this, and we'll let, you know, the board based decks actually be able to stick on the board somewhat. So yeah, Overheal Priest, you probably don't see it a lot unless you're at the higher ranks these days, but it is so freaking insane there that yeah, it was bound to get nerfed at some point, and it finally has. Radiant Elemental for Wild, not less than 1. Like, as we expected, no longer not less than 1. It was a mention in the thing below, above, and stop this infinite mana cheat crap. Yeah, the card's dead for sure as it stands, unless something weird pops up, but overall, it's just not a healthy thing, right? Cards should cost mana, and Radiant and cards like Sork avoided that. It can be fun to do those combos, but when they're oppressive and, you know, meta defining, it's just not so fun anymore. And it's certainly, those cards have had their time. And yeah, the 1 buff, they did change the Golden Kobold for Marin to replace your hand with legendary minions that cost 1 less. So now you get mana cheat by 1 on every legendary, giving you a bit more flexibility. We even got a dev comment on it. We've seen players primarily pick Wondrous Wand off Marin the Manager. As we weaken Wand, we're giving some help to one of the treasures that isn't picked very frequently so that all of the choices are more interesting. So yeah, I think it's cool. It's a cool change. I think it's fine. See how it goes, but I feel like, yeah, Marin's probably not nearly as good. And Crimson Clergy, again, no longer banned. So yeah, we got Battlegrounds changes. We're not going to go over all of that. And then I think there are some bug fixes at the bottom, or just like some other changes. Let's see what we got here. Dark Moon Prize and yeah, just stuff for Battlegrounds. So there you go. So much news these days, but I'm very happy. We finally got some real nerfs, some real changes. We're not just buffing everything, not really buffing anything. We'll just let the new cards come in, see what they can do. And finally, I just wish this patch happened like 2 weeks ago. I wish when we had that original one, this was the patch we got, but hey, better late than never, and we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm excited to log into Hearthstone later today, play some ladder games, and rage quit to arena in about like an hour or two. But whatever, we'll give it a try. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this. We'll have another card review probably like, I think in an hour. There's so much stuff going on. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.